Super Mario Sunshines. People don't seem all that interested in Witcher, not that I blame them, but let's just continue to what I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And I think I'm going to be mixing Witcher 1 and Super Mario Sunshine, but I know the second I hit start, Nintendo tomorrow is going to announce Super Mario Sunshine is being remade on the Switch in HD. I'll play it twice, but I've been wanting them to remake this game forever. Let's let this cutscene play out, then I get to ramble for a bit.
What happened? What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
Now, boys, don't touch that stuff.
Excuse me, but... Huh?
I am most concerned with the well-being of the princess in this dreadful heat. Master Mario, if you would, cross over to that shore and find some assistance.
So this game was released pretty at some point. I don't think it was early. It was at some point during the GameCube's career, obviously, but it was also just kind of the time of Nintendo when they were experimenting a lot. So we got the likes of Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Kart Double Dash, and also Luigi's Mansion. And Luigi's Mansion, I think, was a release game for the GameCube. It was also unfinished, but it was still a really dang fun game. So we're gonna do the Flood cutscene, and then I'll talk a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think I can skip this one.
Power up complete. Thank you for purchasing this item from GAD Science Incorporated. Preparing to register customer information. Scanning and classifying subject data. Subject identified as Mario, resident of the Mushroom Kingdom. Data storage complete. I am Flood, a flash liquidizer ultra dowsing device. I hope to be of assistance. Proceeding with user instruction. Use the R button to shoot water from my tank. If you press the R button all the way down, you can stop and shoot. You can then use the control stick to aim in any direction. Press the X button to switch to the hover nozzle. You can then press the R button to hover in the air for a short time. If this tank is empty, no water can be sprayed. To refill tank, enter a body of water and press the R button. Instructions complete. Proceed.
We really do not need to hear that twice. Okay. So let's see if I can... Yep, I got my access figured out. So I am playing this on a GameCube, and I'm using kind of a custom GameCube controller, so I was having issues earlier today where I couldn't actually get my controller to let me hold down the button just barely, but I fixed it, so I think we're good now, because when you're playing with Flood, you want to be able to run around without holding it down all the time like that, and it looks like I am able to do that just fine, so... Okay, looks like we're good there. So anyway, this game was kind of, like, loved by me and a lot of my friends who played it when we were younger. But I know a lot of people, even today, still think it's a really strange Mario game. And compared to pretty much any other Mario game that you're going to see, it is pretty strange. But, you know, I still like it a lot. And let's see if we can get that guy in the mouth. It's going to take a little bit to get used to the controls here, that's for sure. And... okay, there's some other controls that I am not remembering how to use it. I'm sure we'll figure out as time goes on here. But that was a paint mushroom type of thing. Don't really know what those guys are called. They're going to be a pretty common enemy we're going to see. And there's our Shine Sprite, the stars of this game. So there are 120 of these, and I am struggling hard with whether or not I should be getting all of them because One of them is hard. 120, 119 of them are fine. But one of them is really hard to get, and I've only done it once in my life, and I never want to do it again. So let's find out here. We'll just save and continue. Back when games had memory cards.
Quite an unusual device. Is it some sort of pump?
I am Flood, glad to meet you. Hey, someone's coming.
Court is now in session.
As you are no doubt aware, someone has been senselessly defacing fair Isle Delfino using some paint-like substance. The accused is charged with polluting our beautiful home, and yes, endangering our very way of life. Indeed, how can one not be aware of what is going on? Though it is daytime in Delfino Plaza, our poor residents tremble beneath a veil of darkness. Expert shine scholars have determined that this darkness has arisen because all of our guardians, the shine sprites, have vanished from their gathering spot at the shine gate. The reason? It's quite obvious. This horrible graffiti is to blame. Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions. The truth is obvious. The guilty party sits among us. It is none other than Mario.
Objection!
Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged. I hereby order the defendant to clean this entire island. Until Isle Delfino is completely free of his vile handiwork, Mario shall not be allowed to leave. Court adjourned.
This appears to be quite a predicament, Mario. Data analysis verifies that the island's inhabitants are indeed troubled by pollution, but the pollution itself is not the main problem. Mario, you witnessed this object at the airstrip, correct? It is a shine sprite. Shine sprites are the source of power on Isle Delfino. They used to gather in great numbers at the Shine Gate, but the graffiti incident has polluted the island and most of the shine sprites have fled. There is no longer any power to support the peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable. The only way to ensure the return of the shine sprites is to keep the island from becoming any dirtier. The perpetrator is likely at work even as we speak. And you, Mario, are being treated as a criminal. Tomorrow we must do our best to resolve this situation.
Go straight that way. You can't miss the mess now. Your first job's to get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start slacking off.
So aside from a lot of the other differences in this game that exist compared to other Mario games, one of the most obvious ones are, of course, the voice acting. And when I tell some people who've never played this game that this is one of my favorite Mario games, they hear that voice acting and they look at me like, you sure about that? Voice acting is truthfully pretty bad, but you kind of get over it. So we're gonna do a little bit of work here. And pretty much never again has Nintendo included voice acting in their games. I'm trying to think, like, there wasn't even voice acting in Wind Waker. There wasn't any in Luigi's Mansion, and ever since then there really hasn't been any voice acting except until Breath of the Wild, and a little bit in Mario Odyssey. Breath of the Wild had a lot, and I still think it was a little bit not great in Breath of the Wild. Whoops, that's Y, we want to do X, okay. We gotta clean some of this up. And the camera controls are inverted because for some reason that was just a thing that Nintendo games did back then. Not really sure why. And I can't seem to be able to change the camera controls to invert them around, so I'm just gonna have to get used to that. Ouch. Oh dear, yep, even these are inverted, so this is where up is down and down is up. That's okay. Just do it. Stop those guys from hitting us. Stupid jellyfish. This is a little bit less smooth than it might look, so if it looks like I'm jerking around, it's because I'm trying to get used to the controls again. It's been a pretty long time since I've played this game. Okay, so there's our first so-called world.